Dishoom chili cheese toast. If you want to know how to make it, keep on watching. Guys, this is literally giving Indian grilled cheese and it's made in the air fryer and it came out so delicious. My husband was so shocked how good this came out. But anyway, let's make it together. Let's start making this Indian cheese toast from Dishoom. I'm still thinking about it. I'm actually going to a friend's place and I said I'm gonna make it and I'm just gonna make it fresh there. I'm just gonna cut up everything. So a few of the ingredients compared to what I saw on TikTok, it's a little bit different for me. I just felt like it needed a bit more flavor. So we're gonna need some fresh mint, fresh coriander, green chilies. I get the thin green chilies and I get this from like the Asian stores. So for reference, this is the amount I have. I have kind of 2 long spring onions. I'm only going to use half of them though. And then we have kind of like a bunch of coriander, a bunch of mint. You need more coriander than mint, so whatever your mint amount, you need coriander kind of double. And then I did about 4 green chilies. I hope you don't die today, but the last ones I had weren't spicy at all, so we're going to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this up all very fine just with a knife. So we're first going to chop off the green onion. So I'm chopping off obviously this part, we don't need it. And then I'm just gonna cut as thin as I can. I'm not the greatest chopper, guys, but you know what? This is just for anyone, right? You don't have to have expertise in this, right? I was gonna chop on my plate, but I know a lot of people will be like, you're gonna scratch the plate. So that's why I was like, let me just do. So I'm actually only going to use one because I used the really fat one and I used the whole thing. So I think this is quite a bit and I still want to chop this into small pieces, but I usually chop it in small pieces together with the coriander and the mint once they're all chopped, and the chilies. Time to chop the chilies. So we're just going to take the bulb off, and I don't usually like to cut it because I feel like you take a bit of the chili and you waste. And we are not wasting, right? And then you're just gonna chop this. What you can do is you can cut it in the middle and then chop it on the side. So let's cut it in the middle there, just so that we get as fine chopped as we can. There you go. And then we're just gonna chop again as small as you can. And guys, please don't. So chilies are done. Now we're just gonna add that to the pile of the spring onions. Make sure, there you go. And now we're gonna chop the coriander and mint together, and I'll show you how I do that. While I do this, I really just kind of bunch it up together and just hold it really tight, and I do that a few times. So this is how I would hold it very tight, and then I just cut as close as possible there. And then I would do that again, maybe like 2-3 times to make sure everything is as fine as possible. And guys, with the coriander, make sure you get some of the stem, because the stem is also where a lot of the flavor is. I didn't know till somebody told me, and honestly, it's actually a good way to, you know, so you don't waste the stem. I know this cutting board isn't ideal. I need a really fat cutting board, I know. So now I'm gonna move this all into the plate right here. Ooh, this is gonna be a really flavorful sandwich. I can't wait. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push these all together and cut them up together. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix this together quite nicely so they're quite well mixed. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna chop them again very closely together. Now aunties, come for me, please. I know what I'm doing is wrong. Okay, I'm just chopping them closely, as close as I can. I think this should be enough there. I don't want to overdo it. But yeah, this is going to be really delicious. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a bowl and start spicing it. So I was going to put it in a bowl, but because I am going to my friend's place, I'm just going to put this in a takeaway container because I want to put all the flavor with the cheese and kind of really shake it up. With regards to toast, sorry, I'm just chewing something in my mouth. With regard to toast, you can use, I know Dishoom use sour bread. Honestly, use whatever bread you like whatever bread that you enjoy. That's good enough. So I'm actually gonna get some fresh toast from the grocery. So in this container here, you're going to add about 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay. Honestly, you can add more salt. So what I would suggest is make the mixture. So add maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt, make the mixture, and then maybe like try it before you put it on your toast, just to make sure that it's the right amount of salt. I'm using this lemon pepper. It's actually from South Africa, but you can get it at Tesco. It's Cape Herb and Spice lemon pepper. So I'm gonna put about 1 teaspoon of this here. Oh, that smells good already. And then we're gonna add some garlic granules, about 1.5 teaspoon there. I'm eyeballing, but that's how much I would use. I am adding some chili powder here. Maybe like 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. You don't have to add it if you don't want it too spicy, but I'm just using Kashmiri chili powder. 1 teaspoon dhania powder, and then we're also gonna do 1 teaspoon jeera powder. And we have 1 teaspoon of jeera powder there. We're just gonna add some mozzarella cheese. I would say you need this full packet here, which is about 250 grams. So again, I need to go buy more cheese. So what you're gonna do is you're literally gonna just empty this whole thing out in the tub, and you are going to mix it. I'm going to mix it like this for the time being. I still need quite a bit of cheese. This is just what I had left. And make sure you have some butter. So what's left now is I need more cheese, some butter, and some toast. So I got some fresh bread here. This is a sourdough bread. You're first gonna toast the bread so that's a little bit toasted before we put the butter and cheese on it. I got more cheese there, and then we're just gonna put it in this container here. So I'm putting maybe half the pack. And then we're going to use some of it to kind of mix it up. Okay, and then we're just going to shake that up there to make sure the flavor is evenly distributed. And I'm going to show you guys how I want it to look, like mozzarella and spice-wise, greens-wise. You can see this is how I want the distribution to be. So kind of like maybe 3/4 cheese, and the 1/4 is just your fresh greens and spices. I think it's perfectly toasted. Now we're going to do is we're going to put this on a tray and put butter first, then cheese. Okay, so we're just going to butter this here. Now the toast is buttered, we're going to put this in the air fryer, then put the cheese on it, just so there's less mess, because this cheese is going to make a lot of mess everywhere. So we're going to put 3 here. I managed to fit 3 in there. And then you're just gonna spread the cheese out there. You kind of want to be generous with this cheese, right? It needs to have a little bit of a pile so that it's nice and stringy and cheesy, because when I saw the Dishoom toast in the video, it was really nice and cheesy and full of cheese, so don't skimp there. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to put a little bit of butter on top, just so that it's really nice and moist, because I find with mozzarella, it does feel a little bit dry there. Okay. Again, you can taste this cheese for salt if you like, but I think I added enough salt. So yeah. So adding the butter, a little bit on top, and then we're gonna put it in the air fryer for about 5 to 10 minutes. Air fry it, just close it up there. Because it's a different air fryer that I'm usually using, we're going to put it for 5 minutes on roast, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. 5 minutes on roast, and I don't know, I'm thinking this is perfect. And then we're going to cut it for you guys and do a cheese pull. I'm so excited. This was our dinner last night, guys. Okay, so we're going to do the cheese pull here. This looks so good, guys. I'm so excited. So you could toast the toast a little bit more if you like, depending on how hard you want. But honestly, I think this is perfect. So it is ready, and guys, it came out so good. Let me know if you guys make it, and don't forget to follow my YouTube channel.